Death isn't always the easiest thing to accept, and it's worse if you had hopes and dreams that you wish to fill but never could. Still, death is such an interesting theme and plot device that it is constantly used in any forms of storytelling, including anime. Hello audience, today on Yvern's Box we'll be looking at the emotionally driven work known as Angel Beats, a 13-episode long anime produced by PA Works, directed by Seiji Kishi, and originally conceived by Jun Madea. Sure, emotions are quite powerful, but how exactly does Angel Beats fare from an objective standpoint? Angel Beats' story starts off very strangely, where viewers find themselves following Yuzuru Otonashi, an average guy who wakes up in the middle of a school with his memories gone. Thanks to the help of a silver-haired girl named Angel, he finds out that if he were to die, he would simply respawn. He then gets pulled into a group named the SSS by some other inhabitants of this strange world, where he gets told that he must eliminate the silver-haired girl he met earlier. Now, both the setting and the story is quite interesting, and although it does take place in what technically is a high school, and with what technically are high school students, it differentiates itself from other similar works by the presence of both immortality and sudden disappearances. Like Yuzuru, every other character in this series is immortal and simply respawn should they receive any fatal blows. This makes the plot more flexible because both the viewers and the writers know that the characters would never simply disappear. However, there will be situations where characters really do disappear that shocks both the characters inside the show and the viewers. This makes for an interesting plot point and would become quite an important element for the story. At the same time, there are many character development bits spread out throughout the series which are each individually amazing to say the least. However, the story is one that relies heavily on an individual's emotional side. It requires viewers to not think too much on the finer details of the story and to accept what is being presented. This is where some might have a problem and where people's opinions are divided, while more emotional or artistic individuals might see this as an amazing storytelling experience. More down to earth and should I say serious people will point out the flaws that the story does have more quickly. While the story does stay interesting and strong for the majority of the series, I am pretty displeased with the ending. Angel Beats is one of those animes that get hurt because it is confined by the number of episodes. Because of this, the ending felt way too rushed, the characters that could have been interesting were never given the time to shine, and the great experience got cut off too quickly. I personally believe that Angel Beats could have been a much better anime if it were given 22 episodes for the plot instead of 13. But well, what can you do? The story of Angel Beats follows mainly a group of high school students who try to slay the silver-haired girl named Angel and to discover the secret of the world that they are in. Each of these characters are all quirky in their own way, and many of us will come to love them. Some characters even get a backstory that are usually sad and emotional. These really help flesh out the main characters and make viewers care about them. The main character, Yuzuru, was a mixed bag for me. At times he felt like a typical lazy and somewhat boring character, while slowly becoming more involved in the story and ends up taking a firm stance with his action. He himself also has a very strong backstory segment, which was pretty amazing to say the least. Another mention has to go to the second main character, Yuripe. Yuripe is quite similar to Haruhi Suzumiya. She is smart, determined, and charismatic, but also has a bizarre sense of humor. However, unlike Haruhi, Yuripe is much more anxious and sometimes even looks down on herself. But she is very energetic and does not hesitate when her mind becomes resolute, and although some might find her somewhat obnoxious, I personally found her quite appealing. However, the real problem occurs when we once again find Angel Beats getting restricted by itself. The 13th episode really does not allow all these characters to get fleshed out as much or as well as I'm sure was originally planned. So while all these characters are liked and deserve more development, only about a third of them actually received anything. Most of the characters end up not getting anything even by the end of the story, and while interesting relationships will be made, this minor mishap ended up hurting the original goal of making memorable characters. Angel Beats is a very pretty anime. Both the visuals and the sound are top notch, though the fact that there are only 13 episodes certainly is a downer. However, every last episode was enjoyable from the beginning to the end. The art style was both clean and pretty, and all the characters looked good. Though it does somewhat fall under the moe genre, the character designs are likable and shouldn't bother most. There are a lot of details to everything, from the faces to the backgrounds to the special effects, and no complaints should be had there. The music isn't to be laughed at either. The music for Angel Beats was surprisingly effective, with the first opening luring you in with its beautiful piano and lyrics. There are also bits of other music splashed here and there, but those are also highly enjoyable. Angel Beats was a very enjoyable series for what it was, but at the same time I can't help but feel that we might have missed a chance of getting an anime that could have been so much more. Angel Beats really is an anime that needed more quantity to be better, and not more quality like most others. It really is a shame. However, at the same time, Angel Beats is a series that requires the heart and not the brain. If you overthink a situation, you might end up ruining your experience, whereas if you let the flow overtake you, the journey is much more pleasant. Anyway, thank you all for watching my review of Angel Beats. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please like and subscribe because it goes a long way in motivating me. Additionally, you can always recommend the series to me. But like always guys, this has been Yvern and my box.